Hey guys, Keely Reason here, owner of Love Hope Adventure, where I blog about the marriage relationship, intimacy, and marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. Today, I'm addressing a reader's observation that she feels that would be good for others to know. So, as she and her husband have gotten older, she's been more interested in trying different things, whereas she didn't used to. Things that maybe she might considered not appealing, maybe gross or something like that. Now she's just much more open to it, especially now that the kids are gone, her hormones are going differently. Maybe she's had an increase of hormones and so her libido's up. But it's confusing because her husband hasn't been as on board with trying some things that he had previously asked for. And so how does this work? How does this happen? Why does this happen? Okay, so sometimes what happens when you've been with someone for a very long time and you have one spouse who has really asked for something that they want and the other spouse has said no for long enough, eventually the spouse that was asking for it might change their mind against it. Okay, this was bad. This is not good. They kept telling me no. We've had fights over it, things like that. So it can be really difficult for them later on to change their mindset that their wife or husband now wants to try something that they said no to for so long. And on the flip side of that, the spouse who is now okay with it because they've grown, they've changed, their sex drive has changed, their mindset has changed, they're like more comfortable with their body, which is generally the biggest reason why people say no to things related to sex. They are ready, and now their mind is positive about it, and their spouse has not caught up. And there isn't really a solution to this. There isn't a solution to being like, okay, well, look, you used to think that was awful. Now you think it's great, and you want me to just go ahead and flip flop. But I am sharing this because it's important that people know if you're experiencing this in your marriage, you're not alone. And this happens to a lot of people. You can't force yourself to like something you don't like. But over time, you may get used to that idea or like it more. But at the same time, when you flip it, maybe you were okay with something, but there was enough negative consequence to it long enough that you've changed your mind. So in cases like this, I say spouses just be really understanding of each other. It's okay if your sexual preference changes one way or the other. Expect it, but also know that the other person isn't gross for having those desires or sexual expectations. It's just kind of like we have a saying around here, don't yuck my yum. And that means if I like something at dinner to eat and somebody else thinks it's gross, they can think that, but they should not shame me for enjoying whatever it is that I'm eating. So that's the case when it comes to sex. If your spouse likes something, you don't have to shame them for liking it if you find it gross or you don't want it. But you can tell them, I'm not really interested in doing that. Maybe one day I'll change my mind. Same thing the other direction. Maybe the person who does like something will not like it later down the road. So these are things to be expected. And I just wanted to share that in case you're worried that you're the only person out there dealing with that. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to chatting with you later.